Hi, I'm Stephen Green of Christian Voice, and that's the International Convention Centre right here in Birmingham in the UK. Next Friday and Saturday, that'll be the 15th and 16th of March, a top head teachers union is holding a conference. The Right Honourable Damien Hines, that's Her Majesty's Secretary of State for Education, is giving the keynote speech on the Friday morning, and Her Majesty's Chief Inspector of Schools, the head of Ofsted, Amanda Spielman, is closing the conference on the Saturday afternoon. 2 Mondays ago in Parliament, Mr Hines launched the final guidelines which he's going to introduce next year, 2020, in schools for relationships and sex education. Now, crucially, he's given parents the right to opt their children out of sex education up until the age of 15, but not out of relationships education. Why does that matter? Well, come with me and we'll go around the back. While I'm walking round there, let me tell you what Schools Minister Nick Gibbs said in a debate on RSE in Parliament on 25th of February. He said, "It is of course vital that by the time they become adults and participate in British society, pupils understand, respect and value all the protected characteristics in the Equality Act 2010. Those characteristics include gender reassignment and sexual orientation. Respect and value transgenderism and homosexuality is a declaration of cultural or spiritual war." Oh, that was quite a walk. Anyway, this is the rear entrance of the ICC, and this is a canal area with Pizza Express, Pizza and Piano, all that kind of stuff. Now, why does relationships education matter? Well, it's there that all the LGBT propaganda is taking place, particularly in primary school. Now, Birmingham is interesting because just north of here at Chilwell Croft Primary School, Chilwell Croft Academy to be given its proper name, one Andrew Moffat, he's a gay activist. He turns up there as a teacher. He's got all his certificates, don't worry about that, but he's a gay activist first and foremost. And there he developed a program called Challenging Homophobia in Primary Schools. Doesn't get much more explicit than that. The parents at Chilwell Croft were so incensed they forced the man to resign. Undaunted, he's just skipped across town to Parkfield Community School. That's off the Alum Rock Road in Birmingham. The children at the school are 98% Muslim, but there he's developed a program called No Outsiders. No Outsiders sounds nice, doesn't it? But actually it's just more LGBT propaganda. And under the No Outsiders program, children have been subjected to books like Mummy, Mama and Me, that's about lesbian relationships obviously, and King and King. In King and King, a prince marries another prince, and they reign as king and king. You know, the last time that was tried in England was with Edward II, and that didn't go very well. Anyway, the parents at Parkfield Community School have been so incensed by this teaching, they staged 2 protests in February on consecutive Thursdays. When the school didn't back down, they took 540 children, or 600 depending on which news story you read, out of a total roll of 740. Took them out of school, and now the school have just done a bit of a partial climb down. So they won't do No Outsiders for the rest of this term, but they'll do it in assemblies. I don't think the parents are going to stand for that. Amanda Spielman has said conversations is the way forward, not protest. That's just sniffy establishment arrogance. And the Amanda's also said that it's vital, I keep using this word vital, that children learn there are families with 2 mummies or 2 daddies. Tell you what, their parents don't want their children told there are families with 2 mummies, 2 daddies. It's confusing at best and corrupting at worst. Right, I'll come round to the front again. Hey, let me tell you about another book they're using. It's called My Princess Boy. This is a book that promotes transsexualism, promotes the idea that children are trapped in the wrong body. So you get girls saying they're really boys, boys saying they're really girls. And then what happens is the doctors prescribe them powerful hormone drugs to arrest the onset of puberty. That results in them having brittle bones, and in 15 or 20 years' time, when they've regretted the decision, they'll never have children, and their parents will never be grandparents. It's institutionalised child abuse. The union that's holding its conference here next weekend, they're fully in favour of relationships and sex education. In fact, they're terrified that protests might derail it. So let's get down here, a whole number of us, lifting up our banners in the name of the Lord, as it says in Psalm 20. If you are bringing banners, make sure they have scripture verses on, okay, just not your own opinion. We'll pray and we'll give out leaflets to the delegates explaining the issue. relationships and sex education has to stop, or if it's at least, parents should have the right to opt their children out of all of it. And you know, I believe if we turn up, that's Friday the 15th of March and Saturday the 16th of March 2019, 8 o'clock in the morning, we'll give out the leaflets, we'll hold a witness, and I believe strongly that when we do the little things, we can trust our God to do the miraculous. So I hope to see you then.